Mine run down to the ocean floor.
Is SVG.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, then we are back with more Activated Mornings talk time here on WEFM with Roleza and Dianna and Kingsley DeFreitas. Because at this time, Kingsley is already on the line to bring us his usual morning commentary. Kingsley, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I listened to the interaction earlier with the traffic, Mr. Whatever his name, I can't remember his name. But Miss Samuel asked a very good question. And the police was in a position where he couldn't answer. You know why he couldn't answer? Because the law is an art, right? And that's exactly what old people say all the time. Because it's suggestive that you buy your vehicle, it has 4 big speakers, and you have to turn on the radio when you're driving because the police could charge you under the law. As he said to you, because you walk by way from like you with the standard, you could use his discretion and say, you could play music a lot as you want, and when you get some places, the next police is up to the police discretion. Okay? But that is only like the side of the traffic. But I listened to the discussion this morning with the person who is accused of inflicting some wounds on another person. That is a complication in its making. Why? Somebody met me asked me, Kingsley, what's your thought on what took place between the DJ and a young lady? And I get the impression because he is a DJ and he's well known, the person was expecting me to give a sympathy answer. And I listened to Peter and this morning, I listened to you guys emphasizing how immature some people could be when they get themselves in a confrontation. And I have no sympathy for people who get themselves in confrontation and break the law because I never had that kind of experience, but I have been tempted to do things that I shouldn't do. And I just did what Miss Samuel said. I walk away. And some people in my block say, oh, what he woman is abusing him and he's an anti-pimp him and they call me all kind of name. But I say, Lord have mercy. Because, you know, when you spoke this morning, Miss Samuel, it reminds me of a guy I get to know through the Source newspaper, Judah Jarvis. And he's always on my mind because of the circumstances he found himself in. And you know what we just say? If we didn't know, we wouldn't do what we did. And we had time to go home, change your clothes, but you couldn't change your mind. And when you find yourself in problems, you want me to sympathize with you. And I am not in a position to do that. Because, as you say, we could instill a man to leave the province of the allegation, go home and come back and arm yourself with a tool and tell you a charge for attempt murder. Well, I don't like the word murder. I'm afraid that word is so bad. I try not to use it at all because I always feel that people use the word too loosely and it should be homicide or killing. But under the circumstances that present itself, the police had to find out what to charge him and murder came in. But I have no sympathy for people who get themselves in them kind of thing. I hear people trying to say that he was provoked. Provoked? So you can't think and leave that provocation someplace else? No. I mean, I got pigeon raised because I get the impression, reading some of the comments, is that persons want to make the man out like, well, he was provoked and he found himself in a position where he had to react, he did, and they kind of sorry for him. Well, I get the impression that was the person was trying for me to say to him. But I said, nah, me can't entertain that. Me can't entertain that because, hey, I have 2 sisters, so I must hear somebody abusing them because, and then she would say, so your mother say, if you not beat me, you don't love me. Hello, that is foolishness. That is foolishness, and that's my rant this morning to continue to where Pigeon started. And I'll have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow, okay?
All right, you as well, Kingsley.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, then. Remember, you can call us 457-9997 if you want to be a part of the discussion. And with that number, you can get us on WhatsApp. You can get us on the landline. You can even send us a WhatsApp text. We do prefer it when you call us because we want to hear your voice, just like you're hearing ours. But if you don't feel like calling us, then you can just send us a message on the WhatsApp. So Kingsley was just discussing or continuing from the topic we were discussing this morning. And what one of the things that I think we need. Wrong is wrong, and we have to learn to call out wrong when it is wrong. And I think for a lot of people, because I usually see people who would call out certain ills, but when it is somebody they love, like a family member, or even if it is themselves, they start to kind of justify certain things. And I really don't do that, because I have had two of my family members, really close people that I loved, go to jail for things. And when I heard what they did, I was thoroughly surprised and I cried. I was so hurt, but not for 1 second did I say, boy, you didn't deserve to go to jail, or was I ever on their side. I mean, I still love them and I have forgiven them, but I had to accept that they did something that was wrong, even though it was hurtful to me. And I think a lot of people don't do that. And this situation is really putting a lot of people in a particular light for me. You know, the Bible talk about the wheat and the tares separating and you know, something like that. So when I look online and I see the persons who are commenting on those persons, some of the things that they're saying, and I see who these people are. Some of them are people I know, people I interact with in everyday life, and I'm really surprised that this is the case. But I get that they are the kind of people who, if it's your friend, you don't want the wrong to be called wrong. I get that, but we just need to accept where wrong is wrong. If the woman did what the man said he did to her, what persons are saying he did to her, she's wrong. She had no right to hurt the man like that. Just in the same way, he had no right to hurt her like that. Everybody has been saying here this morning, we have to learn how to walk away. You have to build up the strength to walk away. You could argue that some people don't have that strength, but at a certain point in your life, you're going to live to the end of your days and not learn anything as you grow. You can't say, oh, well, boy, it ain't easy to do this thing. A teenager, I could expect a teenager to say that. Somebody in their 20s even. But as you start to get older, your 30s, your 40s and upwards, you have to be able to make better decisions. Your mind can't be the same kind of mind of a young adult or even a teenager at a certain stage in life. You can't just get older, but you have to get wiser. You have to get a little bit more mature, things like that, you know. So wrong is wrong. Whether it hurts you or it doesn't hurt you, wrong is wrong.
And I mean, the thing of it is that your friend, your family member, somebody can commit an act, right? But the point is that they have to face the consequences of their actions.
Yep.
So whether or not you feel sorry that they have to go through whatever the situation is, whether it's they go through a trial or go to jail, the point is they've committed an act, and because they've committed an act, they have to stand the consequences for their action. All right. I'll be honest that last night when I was just thinking on the entire situation, you know, at the start of the year, January 1st, I don't know how many persons do this, but at the start of January 1st, I always wonder what the year is going to bring, right? Half the time, my whole thing is, am I even going to be alive at the end of the year, right? But, you know, I'm there thinking of this person in this situation, the DJ in question. And I'm here saying at January 1st, if the devil came to him and told him that in March you would be charged for attempted murder, would he have laughed at the devil? Probably,
you know.
You know, because and these are the things, is that there are times when we ourselves are surprised by our own actions.
Yeah.
But that is the exact point that I was trying to make, where you know that you're not in the best of headspaces. Try to find a way to walk away. Don't go and confront it, right? Because the devil could have come to you January 1st and you would have told the devil that is not possible.
Yeah,
that is not me. Exactly. That is not me. And look what has happened. You know, so yeah.
Heavy. Yeah, definitely. Listen, I cannot stress the walk away part enough. Even if you have to block people. Listen, this is for we who are listening, we who are talking here. If you find yourself in a situation where you're being stressed out by the person, I don't know where this thing started promoting certain things, but walk away. If you have to block people, block them, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be in the media like this, and Roleza are going to be here discussing the conversation, even if it's one, even if you never know who it is. So just if you are listening right now and you are in a situation like this, please, we don't want it to end up like this or any other situation that is similar to this. Please leave people alone. I'm not encouraging people to hurt anybody. Leave people alone and get mature in your thinking. Also, wrong is wrong, all right? Learn to accept that wrong is wrong, whether it is hurtful to you or not.
All right. So I think maybe we could probably just quickly touch on the video. Or just to note persons that at 8:15, we'll be conducting an interview with the Comptroller of the Inland Revenue Department, Mr. Kelvin Pompey, regarding the launch of the e-tax filing system. All right. So you'd want to stay tuned for that interview. All right. All right. You want to go ahead?
You can go.
All right. So I'm not sure how many of you are aware of a video that's circulating through social media, and it was actually placed online recently. Well, yesterday, regarding a fight between a schoolboy and a schoolgirl, right? And I suppose even that itself shows how people react to certain incidents, right? And I have to start there in the school system. But I didn't even look at the comments. Well, I did look at some comments, right? In terms of how it is that the schoolboy interacted with the girl, the way in which he was, stiffening up and hitting her and that sort of thing. But I will say this, that I'm most disappointed that the video even made it to a particular platform, right? While it is that I can understand persons trying to highlight the dynamics or how it is this young man, and even the friends are responding to what is happening between this boy and this girl. I was disappointed that the girl's face wasn't at least pixelated or at least blurred in some way, right? Because of the fact that we saw at one point that she fell backwards and her skirt was lifted up. And then we saw, her underclothes and etc. And I'm there saying that this child does not deserve two sets of embarrassment. She did not deserve to be embarrassed having the video placed on social media, even though I do probably understand why it is that the video has been making its rounds in terms of trying to address the situation of male against female acts of violence, or even the reaction of friends who are looking at the incident. But this girl also did not deserve to have this other embarrassment in terms of what transpired at the end of the video. And for me, I'm disappointed. Right? I'm disappointed.
And then, of course, in the video, you could see the persons who are recording and the other students who were around. And added to that disappointment is the fact that none of them came to her rescue. We don't know. We didn't see the video from the start. So obviously, as usual, we don't know what transpired before the piece that we saw and we see online. But according to what we saw in the video, not a single soul came to her aid. And they actually found it quite amusing, especially the boys. Especially the boys. They were like, the way that they were responding to the young man that was beating up on the girl. It's like, that was such a great thing for them to see. Like, boy, you is it. That is it. That is how you do things. That, they were really pleased with that.
I would like to see what is going to be the outcome of this though, in terms of everybody who was within the frame of the video and who was inside of the classroom. I really and truly would like to see what happens here, because if this is how they are acting and responding to, fellow classmates, because they would have been a classmate. If this is how they are responding and reacting, all of them need to sit down and go do some counseling. Every single one of them needs to take part in some counseling. Right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
topics were quite heavy this morning, but you know how it is. Sometimes you gotta discuss things like that, and then other times you have something a little bit more light and fluffy. But there you have it. Those are our comments for this morning right here on Activated Mornings. Anybody has anything to say? If not, then we are going to head out of this talk segment. Remember, we'll be bringing to you an interview shortly. It is now 8 o'clock.